Keidane, last week, some quality soccer by your team, but unfortunately when you play two teams of that caliber, it doesn't always get a result out of it.
Yeah, we actually played some really, really good soccer, but we played, two of the top teams in the country, and they made us pay for our mistakes, and thus we were one short both days.
Keidane, offensively, you get 2 goals in each match. Against Stanford, that's something that hadn't been done in 5 years in this conference. But more impressively maybe is that 8 different people getting into the score sheet, and you've always talked about the depth on this team, but again, different people getting involved is always good.
Yeah, we're starting to find our rhythm throughout the group in the way we're playing, not just in who's producing. And I think that's a huge thing for us going into these last 3 games and hopefully into the postseason. We're getting contributions, which is going to open up the players who have been most consistent for us throughout the year, which is exciting.
Defensively, I would assume there'd be some concerns giving up not the amount of goals, but maybe the way the goals were scored against us.
Yeah, especially in the Stanford game, they're all set pieces. Those are things that I think we can address pretty quickly and pretty easily. And I thought we did a better job on the Sunday game against Cal. In the Cal game, unfortunately, we let some pace beat us simply by falling asleep a little bit a couple of times. So. There's discipline issues, and we've talked about just making sure we stay focused and stay tuned in throughout our 90 minutes. And I think part of our transition as we attack is making sure we stay focused in our defending. And we've been pretty consistent all year. We just got caught this weekend.
The good news is you're back home for the final 3 matches of the regular season. The bad news is Mother Nature not cooperating this week in terms of practice. But what do you have to do to get ready for the Oregon State and Oregon coming in this weekend?
Exactly what we were talking about. Just work on our discipline and refocus ourselves, stay sharp offensively because we have found a little bit of a rhythm, but definitely refocus ourselves on the defensive end and just making sure we're moving into the right places and are accountable for our jobs.
You look at the RPI, and obviously we're getting down to it, and you need to accomplish some things. 48's not a bad RPI. The problem is there's a lot of teams in this conference ahead of us.
Right.
What have you talked about with the team in terms of the sense of urgency going into these last 3 matches?
Well, we've just continued to harp on the same thing. It's postseason-like play, especially as we go into these last 3 games. We need to play with that kind of urgency. Unfortunately for us, we're at home. Which makes it a little bit easier, but it still doesn't take away from that level of play that we have to bring.
The bench has become a little bit shorter. You haven't gone with as many subs down the stretch. Is that because that's where you are in the season and you need to rely on the best 11 you can get out there any time?
Well, not as much. I think each game has presented different challenges, and that's where the bench has shrunk a little bit. But we're still trying to stay in some of the same rhythms, and it's been good for us. So we're going to continue to try to do those things.
All right. Well, best of luck this weekend.
Thanks so much.